everyone, so this is going to be my Lana Del Rey inspired makeup tutorial. I've seen a few images of her and I think she's absolutely beautiful, and I think she's going to be really big this year. So I was really inspired by some of the shots that I've seen of her. I've linked it in the box below, as obviously I can't show you in the video for copyright reasons. So if you want to see the picture that I'm trying to recreate, then check in the box below. This is actually my first makeup tutorial ever on my channel, which you might be surprised at because I've been doing these videos for nearly 2 years now. But I always get requested to do makeup tutorials and I always kind of get a bit scared because I'm not a makeup artist. I'm not saying that I am one. A lot of people request to see how I do my makeup, and the look is quite similar to makeup that I wear on a daily basis anyway. It's quite natural. I really like it. I think it's really pretty. One other thing, I'm sure a lot of the makeup artists and girls and guys that do makeup tutorials on here say, I don't think I look like Lana Del Rey. I'm not trying to say that I look anything like her. It's just my interpretation of the makeup she's wearing in the image. I think it's the artwork for video games, or I don't know. It was used at some point, but it's a lovely picture. And yeah, I'm just going to show you how to recreate this look as best I can. I think when I recorded this video, in the beginning I was talking my way through it, but as I went on it got more and more difficult to kind of talk. So part of the video I might speak through and another part may be a voiceover. So please try and bear with me until I've really worked out my way of doing this, and let me know what you think of the video in the box below. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoy it. Bye! Okay, so the first thing I did was apply my foundation, and I used Revlon's Photo Ready foundation in the colour Cool Beige. So I probably should have used a slightly paler colour because this one's quite dark, but on the camera it's showing up quite light anyway, so it should be okay. Next I'm going to conceal any dark circles or redness, and I'm going to use my Collection 2000 Lasting Perfection Ultimate Wear Concealer. So I'm just going to slightly dab it underneath my eyes and on any sort of areas of redness, especially around the nose. I get quite a lot of redness. So because I'm looking in the camera I can't see that well, but I'm just going to apply it as best as possible. This foundation is quite dewy and looks quite glossy, so we want to make it as matte as possible. So I'm going to use my e.l.f. pressed powder in the colour Buff, which looks like this, and I'm going to use an e.l.f. powder brush as well. I'm just going to apply that lightly all over the face just to take out any shine and to just make my face as matte as possible. And just dust it over the eyelids with any that you have left on the brush. Okay, so next I'm going to move on to my cheeks, and in the picture she has a kind of peachy pink colour. It's quite pale but it's still quite noticeable, and she wears it quite low down on the cheek. So I'm going to use my NYX blush in Peach, and I'm going to take this on a Sigma SS168 brush, which looks like this. So I'm just going to take that on the brush and then apply it to the cheeks. Now I'd probably apply this a bit higher on my cheek usually, but hers is quite low down and it's a really pretty colour. So it kind of starts on the apples of your cheeks and works right the way out. So I don't exactly know how well that's showing up. I've probably applied a bit more than I usually would, just so it shows up on the camera, but hopefully it is showing up because it's a fairly pale colour on her cheeks anyway. So I'm going to leave that like that. As I said, in the picture she's quite pale, but her cheeks are very highlighted, and especially the bridge of her nose is very highlighted. So I'm not going to contour my cheeks, but I am going to contour my nose. So a lot of you will already know how to do this. I'm actually going to take some bronzer by Look Beauty in the shade Rio, which looks like this. It's a bit dirty because I've used it recently. I've been using it a lot, as you can see. I'm going to take it on the same brush. I'm just going to take a little tiny bit and I'm just going to place this down the sides of my nose. So not so it's noticeable, just so that we can highlight the bridge of the nose when we get to the highlighting stage in a moment. And I'll probably just do around my temples as well, just to give that extra effect. So just make sure that's all blended in and you can't really see it. It just creates the illusion of a slimmer nose. So next I'm going to take e.l.f.'s Radiance Enhancer, and this kind of rolls up in a brush, but I'm not going to run the brush on my cheeks because I would end up with streaks on my face. So I'm just going to apply it to the back of my hand. It's a really iridescent shimmer, but it's not too overpowering. And with my fingertip, I'm just going to place this on my cheekbone. Because even though her skin is quite matte, you can really see that her face is quite illuminated. You could also use a powder, but this was the closest thing I had to hand, and it's really pretty, gives a really nice effect. So I'm just going to place that on my cheekbones, on the top of my cheekbones, and on the bridge of my nose. And this is what's going to really create the illusion of a slimmer nose. And in the picture you can really see that the light has picked up that colour. Okay, so next I'm going to do my eyes and then my lips, so I'll zoom you in to show you how I'm going to create the eye look. Okay, so as you may be able to tell, I'm actually wearing eyelash extensions at the moment, which is why they look quite nice. If I didn't have these on, I can assure you my lashes would probably be the same sort of colour as the bottom ones are, pretty light. So I'm quite glad I've got these on for my first makeup tutorial. Makes me feel a little bit better. But usually I would just wear my favourite mascara and layer it on to get longer lashes. So looking at the photo, it looks like she has really thick eyeliner on, but I think it's actually a really dark brown or black all over the lid, which fades out into a dark brown. So I'm going to take MUA's Immaculate Collection palette, which I absolutely love. And I'm actually going to use the black colour at the top because to me it looks black. To other people it might look brown, but it's just the way that I've interpreted it. So on a round brush like this, I'm going to take the black colour. I'm going to apply this to the lid, but I'm not going to go up any higher than the lid, so that when I open my eyes it's not smoked out above the crease, it's just placed on the lid. And actually if you don't build up a black colour too much, it does tend to look like a very dark brown anyway. So I'm just going to add a bit more onto the lash line. I'm really sorry if this doesn't focus very well. Just to darken it up around there, to give that illusion of an eyeliner colour. So as you can see, it's quite dark. Okay, so I've just zoomed in slightly. The next palette I'm going to take is MUA's Heaven and Earth palette, and this is a really nice neutral palette, and I'm going to use the brown on the bottom left of the palette and kind of just smoke out the corners. So I'm going to take my Sigma SS219, which is a round brush like this, and then I'm just going to close my eyes and take it into the crease and kind of blend it into the dark brown / black colour and blend it up, because it's not really strong in the picture, but you can tell that it's blended out into a lighter brown. But mainly concentrate on the outer corner. Just touch up the dark colour because we've taken out a bit of the intensity by blending it. So just add that back in. And slightly blend it out again. Okay, so my next step would be mascara. Obviously I've already kind of got mine on because I've got my lash extensions. I would normally use L'Oreal's Telescopic Carbon Black Mascara, and I'd curl my lashes and then apply that as many times as you want to create the fullness that you need. I think she wears quite a lot of mascara in the picture, but I just wanted to make them stand out a little bit more. Now I'm just going to brush them through, because in the photo Lana's lashes are very separated and defined, but more so on her bottom lashes, so that's what we're going to focus on now. Now I've got really short bottom lashes and she clearly has got long ones, but I'm still going to take the L'Oreal Telescopic. And some of you may laugh at me for this, but what I find easiest is to just put a piece of paper underneath the lashes, like so. Take my mascara, and that way you can get in more of a mess. So then I went back to the Immaculate Collection palette by MUA and used this very pale yellow colour to highlight the inner corners of my eyes, just to make them look a little bit bigger, and I can see in the picture that she has her inner corners highlighted as well. Next I used my HD Brows palette in this colour, which is the colour I always use. I really love it. And I just started to fill in my brows. Now her brows are quite strong in the picture, and if you're looking at the picture you can see that they don't kind of arch and then go down like mine. They kind of go in a straight line across, which is weird, but it actually looks really good. So I kind of ignored that kind of last sort of quarter of my brow, if that makes sense, and concentrated on the straighter part, and I just carried on filling these in. Obviously you can't really disguise that last part of your brow if you do have brows that are different to Lana's, but you can do your best to kind of comb them or style them into the shape that you want them to be. Next I used e.l.f.'s matte lip colour in the colour Natural, and I just used this to line my lips slightly, because Lana has very big, full, voluptuous lips, a bit like Bridget Bardot, and then I just filled them in with the same colour because her lips are very pale and matte in the picture. So I went for this pinky colour. Maybe you could do them a bit more neutral, but I just thought that looked pretty, and then I just kind of blotted them with my fingers to make them even more matte. Then I brought my hair around to the side like Lana has in the picture. Mine is on the wrong side, so apologies for that. She has very big bouncy curls, so you can just play around with your like curling tongs for this and create a similar style yourself. So finally in the picture Lana wears a beautiful floral headpiece. I didn't have anything like that to hand, so I just put something together like a little floral crown to complete the look. Obviously you don't have to go to this step. You can just kind of leave it at the hair and the makeup, or just the makeup. So this is just a quick close-up on the eyes. I'm sorry it's not totally in focus. Still having a few problems with the camera, but this is what the finished look looks like. And that's the look complete. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Bye!